Hello flower pots, it's Sunday service. I'm all confused. I know we've fallen back with the time, but does that mean that it's really 1 o'clock? Or does it mean it's 11 o'clock? I don't know. I know we spring forward and we fall back. So hello gorgeous flower pots, and thank you for joining me on today's fold back edition of a Sunday service. Hello Bronwyn Harrison, what time is it in that there Australia? Dee McChrystal, thank you and welcome. Tabby Gamble, thank you, that's very, very kind of you. I'm wearing a new foundation today, which I may review, I'm not sure. I've been not really into foundations, but I thought with it being winter and having a palette of looking like I've got dysentery, I thought I'd give it a go. Curtis Halcrow, hello, good afternoon. Oh, give me a like, give me a love, give me a share. Let me know where you're actually watching me from. Quite a few people this morning said, please do Sunday service. We've got an extra hour in the day and I'd love to spend it with you, Auntie Nelly. So here I am. And then I asked my gorgeous boyfriend, shall I do Sunday service? And he said, yes. So I think he's quite happy to have an hour off as well. So it's 10:30 in the evening in Australia. And it is 12:02 here in the United Kingdom, but really it's 1:02 I think. It just confuses me when we change the clocks. I think the microwave's still on the wrong time. The smart meter updates itself, as does the mobile phones, but I still have to put Sky News on just to see exactly what time it is. And I have to ask Alexa as well. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching me from. Once again, Sunday services, lots of dear Auntie Nellies, a problem shared is usually a problem solved. And I have them all here collated, ready to go. They're all anonymous, so don't worry about writing into the page. Should you want a Sunday service or a nighttime with Nelly, that's what you do. You write into the page. They all filter through into boxes if you put nighttime with Nelly and Sunday service, and that's where I retrieve the information from. So we've got the gorgeous Scylla here in the background walking about with a toy in her mouth, and we've got Hartley asleep in the lounge, and my gorgeous boyfriend is at the back door. So if you do see a fella walking up and down, it's just my love. So yes, hello, good afternoon. Are we all ready for a few Sunday services? Let's see what's been going on in the land of flower pots and who needs a little bit of help. Belinda Meredith, that's lovely, so kind of you to say. And Sasa Momi is watching from Slovenia. I don't know how to say Sunday service in Slovenia. I know how to say it in Italian, which is Servizio Domenicale. My lovely boyfriend is actually learning Urdu at the moment. And I did practice how to say Sunday service in Urdu, but I can't do it and I don't want to offend anybody, so I'll just do it in Italian because I know what it is in Italian and I certainly know what it is in flower pot land. So without further ado, shall we just fucking get on with it? I think we should. Right, dear Auntie Nelly, I've been with my partner now for nearly 2 years and I've got 3 children from a previous relationship. He doesn't have any and he's in his 40s. He worships the ground I walk on, but his snoring, oh here we go, and the fact that he's deaf because of his job in the demolition industry drives me insane. I've told him to get hearing aids, but he don't want to wear them. He says he's too young. So I have to repeat myself every 2 minutes. I say something and then he doesn't know what I've said, but then he pretends I understand. He understands what I've said. It's really getting to me. Also, he is still married. Here we come to the real problem. They've been separated for over 2 years now and told me he started proceedings for a divorce, but doesn't think he has. He's not sure. He just wants to go back, but because he can't be asked, it really bothers me. What do I do? I don't really understand this. You're saying he's deaf, he won't wear hearing aids, he snores, he loves you and your children, but he's still married. What's the actual fucking problem here, flower pot? Because I'm confused. Okay, so sleeping with snoring partners. Do you have a spare room? If you do, and once you've done what you have to do as a couple do at night in bed, one of you can go in spare room. Is it a medical problem? Could they see a doctor? Could you try a snoring aid? If you do, they're all a shower of shite. I bought a special pillow that's anti-snoring, and it doesn't stop me sleeping like a warthog. So I don't know what to say about snoring. Is he snoring because he's deaf? I don't know. Has he got nasal problems? I think the fact here that is he is still married might be the problem, okay? The fact that he's still married, has he started divorce proceedings, has he not? I'm not quite sure what's going on here. We need to get to the bottom of it. Are you in a relationship with a man who's married but separated, and is that okay? Because if that's okay, that's fine. Are you wanting him to divorce for a special reason because you want to marry him? So what you need to do really is find out what the divorce proceedings is causing the problem with, okay? As for the snoring, the fact that he don't want to wear an hearing aid, that's a personal thing really. It's how he feels about it. There are a lot of people out there that have hearing difficulties, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Look at Ben in EastEnders. So there we go. So I don't really know what your problem is. Earplugs at night, maybe. Moving on. Dear Auntie Nelly, I accidentally liked an Instagram photo of a girl in sexy underwear, and my girlfriend went mental and quit me. He's obviously a flower pot. She said she's heartbroken and she's lost her trust in me and doesn't think she can get it back. What can I do? I love her so much. She's 20, I'm 24, and she's my soulmate. Okie dokie, so you've liked a picture on, was it Instagram, did you say? Not Facebook? Okay, yeah. So you've liked an Instagram picture of a girl in sexy underwear. You've liked it. It is what it is. Whether it's accidental, a mistake, or you thought she looks lovely and you give it a like. That is what social media is about. It's about indulging yourself. It's about posting pictures and sitting there and seeing if we get comments and likes. So you've done her a favour. What you've done there is not done yourself a favour because your girlfriend's quit you. And you're saying you're 24, she's 20, she's your soulmate, really? I think the fact that she's 20, she's probably enjoying having a boyfriend, but looking for an excuse. And sometimes when we're actually getting to where we think, I don't know what to do about this relationship, so we start looking for faults in order to pick that fault to use it as an excuse to quit you. And I only know that because I'm a girl, and that's what girls do. They will sort of say, everything's fine, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. And then they'll be waiting for you to fuck up somehow, and it may be the fact that you've liked an Instagram picture, or you've not made her a brew in the morning, or you've not told her she looks beautiful. She is waiting. I think she's waited for an excuse in order to end the relationship. Because liking a picture of a sexy girl on Instagram is not really cause for concern unless it's your ex, somebody that you've already been with, somebody that you know. Okay, so I'd say she was looking for a way out, and that's what I would ask her. I said, listen, I don't want us to end. I thought this was going to be forever. I love you so much. However, I really now believe that you didn't feel the same, and that's your excuse. I'm sorry that I did that. And I think she'll probably say, no, I'm sorry, I can't forgive you, because she was looking for a way out. There we go. And even when men don't put a foot wrong in a relationship, believe me when I say we will always find fault in something. He could be looking at you and telling you look beautiful and giving you a beautiful smile, and you could think, why has he got that stupid fucking look on his face? So sometimes, even when you're doing absolutely fucking nothing wrong, if we want to find a fault, we will. Oh, we will. Believe me, we can pick any fault in a good day if we're feeling that way out, or if we want an excuse to get out that relationship. You heard it here first. Okie dokie. Dear Auntie Nelly, I lie awake at night worrying about death. Oh, Christ. It is affecting me mentally, and I am having panic attacks, and my fears are stopping me from eating. It isn't death itself that worries me, it's the fact that I'm going to be buried in the ground or burned. I'd rather be buried, but all my family get burned. If I go before my parents, I know they'll burn me. And what if I'm not actually dead? Oh, God bless you, sweetheart. Also, I can't bear to think that the world will continue around me and I won't know what's happening, and I won't ever see my family again. I'm a 19-year-old flower pot. I can't talk to my family about this as I don't want to worry them, and I can't talk to any friends as they'll probably laugh. But this is really getting out of control. I know you have anxiety, so I thought you could help me. I do have anxiety and I medicate with sertraline 100mg every day in order to try and control that anxiety. Being frightened of death, I think, is probably a fear that most of us have, especially when we've got in a relationship or we've got children or we've still got parents that we're caring for. However, being frightened of the way that you're going to be buried or burned is a conversation we all need to have. I wouldn't want to be burned. I don't want to be cremated is the nicer word for it. I want to be buried. My family and friends know that. It's a conversation that's not nice to have, but it's needed. My daughter, I had this conversation with my daughter, I think she was about 13, 14, and she turned around and said, I want to be cremated. And I was absolutely, what do you mean you want to be cremated? You're going to be buried. I don't want to be buried, Mum, I want to be cremated and I want my ashes scattered. Wasn't a nice conversation to have, the thought that my daughter was thinking of that, but it was, if God forbid anything happens, I know that my daughter wants to be cremated. And I'm glad I know that, because I would have buried her. And there's times in her teenage years where I've been very close to burying her. Anyway, I always think that that's when you learn to sit on your hands when you are a parent to a teenage daughter. Or they'll be round the fucking throat. Anyway, so I think it's an important conversation for us all to have. It's a fear that's not irrational. I don't want to die. I'm not frightened of dying. I don't have this fear that keeps me awake at night. But I don't want to die. I'm not ready to die. My little girl's only 24. I don't know if she'll marry in the future, if she'll have children, if I'll get to see my grandchildren. I don't know if I'm going to go out in the car today and be wrought off by an HGV. You can't live your life worrying about something. It's like an impending doom. And I really do believe that you need to go and see your doctor. You need to tell them of this fear. Whether the fear is of rats or heights or death or whatever it may be, you need to sort of put things in place so that, God forbid you do die, at least you know that your wishes are going to be commanded to. And yeah, it is sad when we die and we do have that, well, I won't know what's happening in the world. Well, you won't, sweetheart. No, unfortunately, the sky still comes blue in the morning, the birds still tweet, and life still goes on without us. With many generations behind us that are not here seeing what we're seeing. And we're so blessed to have this day, because all we ever have is today. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. So please, please, please go and see a doctor and please enjoy the day. If you do anything with your day today, speak to your family, let them know that you'd like to be cremated, and see your doctor and maybe look at different forms of therapy for your anxiety. And I really don't know what else to say to you, because I can't take your fear away. I really can't. Just deal with what you've got today. And when you said you're not eating, if you continue not to eat, death will be a lot sooner than what you fucking think. So get in that kitchen and get a cheese toastie made and enjoy your Sunday. Right, moving on. Dear Auntie Nelly, that's me. Everything is anonymous. Hi Auntie Nelly, a bit of a tricky one here. Oh, right, okay. Me and my ex split around 9 months ago when he packed his bags and left me. Knowing I still had feelings, we regularly have sex together, which has made me think he must also have feelings. And after a night together in March, I found out I was pregnant. If I can just stop you there. Men that sleep with women does not mean it's because they have feelings. It's because they've got a full sack and they want to empty it, all right? And I do not want anybody out there thinking, well, he rocks up at 1:05 on a Friday night after he's had a load of coke and a load of fucking drink and a load of weed and a load of fags. And he thinks, I'll knock on her door and empty my sack. Do not think for 1 minute that these men are coming to your door because you think they've got feelings. There will be men out there that do have feelings for you, but they'll be the man that picks you up, takes you out for a nice meal, sits down and holds your hand when you're watching a film, goes on walks with you, goes shopping, texts you, asks you how you are, rings you. But the ones that just rock up for sex to empty the sack, the only feeling they're getting is gratification. Okay, moving on with the actual question. I just wanted to put that point out there. So in March, she found out she was pregnant. It was really supportive at first, but we were both in shock as we already have a daughter together. You see, when you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. He almost seemed to change and come round more often. Oh, well, fucking hell. And again, we'd just sleep together. About 2 weeks ago, everything went tits up. He decided that he didn't want to be involved with me, our daughter and our unborn child. My daughter only saw him when he came round anyway. What? Your daughter only saw her father when he come round and he was jumping on you? Nice. Am I wrong in thinking that when this baby is born, I shouldn't be bending over backwards and letting him have a try to see it? Or should I be more open-minded and try and get him and this baby to connect? Everyone keeps telling me he'll change, but I'm fed up of waiting for him. Thank you. Ain't this man gonna change at all? This man is a child. This man knows that if he knocks on your door, you're not just gonna open the door, you're also gonna open your legs for him. So it's an easy fucking lane. I'm sorry to be brutal, but the fact that he's not already seen his daughter that you've both got together, and the fact that then he's saying, I don't want out to do with daughter and I don't want out to do with unborn child, but he's quite happy to come in and fucking slip one inside you. No. If he wants any part to be a father in your children's life, he will knock on that door, you will exit the house and have a safe, responsible adult there in order for him to spend time with his children, not with you. The relationship between you two has ended, it's gone. Unless you're quite happy to be used as a spunk bucket, you crack on. But that's all that's happening here. There's no love, there's no respect, there's no affection. And what are you actually teaching your daughter that's already here? That it's okay for men to come through the door and degrade you and use you like that? I'm sorry, but I don't like this problem. It's a problem you're bringing on yourself and you need to stop it immediately. So you need to tell this ex-partner, do not be knocking on my door again. My legs are now closed. Every time I open my legs, I get myself into this shit, so I'll keep them closed. Okay? Good girls sit like this, bad girls sit like that, don't forget. And have somebody, whether it's his mum, your sister, a friend, in the home, spend an hour a day or whatever he wants to do with his daughters that's, communicated between you, and you leave the home. He's not there to see you, he's there to see his children. If he doesn't want to see his children, you keep the door firmly locked and you crack on being an independent parent and looking after you and your little babies. Simple as that. And I know it's brutal, I know it is, but sometimes I think people come to me because I am last resort. I think people have had all that, oh, don't worry, sweetheart, I'm sure he'll change, or, oh, he'll be better when baby comes. And I think you've had all that love from everybody and people don't quite know what to say. I don't know you, I don't know your personal circumstances. I see it as black and white and I'll tell you how it fucking is. And if you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch and don't fucking write into the page. End of. Dear Auntie Nelly, I need some advice. I have been friends with my best friend since we were 6. We are now 24. We've always been complete opposites, but everyone has known we were the best of friends. She would have been my first choice of maid of honour. She recently got engaged and did not ask me to be her maid of honour. All of our classmates were shocked that I wasn't going to be a bridesmaid. I feel heartbroken. I've cried more than I've ever cried before in my life ever. When she didn't message me on my birthday a few weeks ago, my boyfriend reached out to her and she said, oh, I forgot. I was so hurt as she was when she didn't, I was as hurt as I was when she didn't ask me to be a bridesmaid. She knows that I would be hurt. I was invited to her bridal shower but felt very out of place. She didn't even invite me to the bachelorette party. This is anonymous, but it must be American, the way it's worded. I have cried every night. She's expecting me to go to her wedding, but just as a guest. Should I go? The friendship seems very one-sided now, and we don't really see each other anymore. I've been wanting to talk to her about it, but I don't want to ruin this special time for her. So, you were 6, best friends, you're both 24 now, which is you are actually grown adults. I find that really hard to believe because I have a child the same age. You're not children though, you are adults. This girl is choosing to go off and marry the man of her dreams. She's chosen a bridesmaid, she's chosen a flower girl or whatever else she's chosen. You're not in that equation. You're taking this far too personal, okay? And I know what you're saying is, well, I would have asked her. Well, like you said, you're Polish shit. Or venues, or do you know what I mean? She forgot your birthday. As long as your partner and your mum and your dad and your brother and your best friend, she didn't remember your birthday, and you know, your family remembered your birthday. What's it fucking matter? What's it matter that it's just to go to her wedding and not have any responsibility on the day and just be there as a guest, not worry about if a veil's flapping in wind, if somebody's standing up back of a fucking dress trying to get her in disabled toilet so she can have a piss? Won't it be nice for you and your husband to go to this wedding as a guest? Wish her well. And at the end of the day, if that's what she wants to do, live her life now without you as close, crack on. Everybody's got a right to choose who they want and don't want in their life. I don't think you're being hysterical and over the top. I think you're deeply hurt, but sometimes it's better finding out who'll be there for you and who won't. And you found out in a bit of a shitty way, but she's not the friend you thought. You've certainly put a lot more into this friendship, so I think you've got to take 10 steps back. And that's it. Okie dokie. Dear Auntie Nelly, I've been single for 2.5 years after a disastrous, 5-year marriage. Recently, a man I know ran into each other, right, okay, and we've become fast friends. A group of us visited this man's house where he wrapped his arms around me and said, "You'll always be safe in my arms." Oh Christ, that's a bit weird. His priority was my comfort and safety. I felt safe and loved for the first time in a very long time. Our few days together were incredible. I haven't heard from him since though, and I'm now heartbroken. I'm very lonely, and he made me feel special for the first time in a long time. How do I prevent myself from getting hurt? You can't. You absolutely can't prevent yourself from getting hurt. Shit happens. I think you've spent a lovely couple of days with this fella, and he's give you the spiel that men give you. And it's been lovely. And the fact that you went through this disastrous marriage and you've been single for a while, you're craving that love and affection, and you thought, oh, I like this. There's no reason why you can't get it from somebody else. Maybe that's just a sign telling you that you're ready to start dating again. You're ready to start seeing other people. You don't have to wrap yourself up in one person for comfort and safety. You've got to find comfort and safety for yourself. Make sure that your environment is safe for you and that you've got all the comfort that you need inside you. You've got to be happy in yourself. But the fact that you love that big cuddle, you love spending time with a person of the opposite sex, tells me that you're ready to start dating. So you haven't heard from him again. And so fucking what? He'll not hear from you again. But you need to download the app Tinder or Plenty of Fish or go to a singles night and get out there and start enjoying what it was, that little bit of tender loving care that you really liked. So I think that just means that you're ready to start dating again. So good luck. Oh, bless her. Where are we now? Dear Auntie Nelly, anonymous, please. I started talking to my ex again a year ago as we both just split with our partners and we get on great. We've been best friends with benefits ever since because I have no self-control when it comes to seeing him and he hasn't with me. We tell each other absolutely everything. My problem is his friends and my friends say we act like a couple. Why don't we put a label on it? The minute I mention about other dates though, he hates it, but finds it okay to try and impress women himself, even when we're out together. I seriously don't know where I stand because he always wants me around and talks to me every day, whether it be by voice, video or text. He also adores my kids. It's just confusing the absolute fuck out of me. What do other people think? He had a nasty split with his ex-wife. Don't think about his ex-wife. Don't start making excuses like, oh, well, it's because his ex-wife were a bitch, so he's a bit scared of having a relationship. No, if you wanted to be your boyfriend, he'd be your fucking boyfriend. You don't want to be your boyfriend. I'm not saying he's not that into you. I'm just saying that you don't want to be your boyfriend. He's quite happy going out with you, speaking to you every day, slipping one up you now and again. He's quite happy. He don't want to hear about your exploits with other men, but he's not told you to stop dating. He's just told you to stop talking about the dates. That's what he's asked. If he thought there was any way that he wanted to be your boyfriend, he'd be saying, I don't like you seeing other men. And he hasn't said that, has he? He's just said, I don't want to hear about it. Crack on. Because I'm sure that's exactly what he's doing. I think you are friends, you've been friends for a long time, you get on very well, so sometimes it's hard to lose a friendship, but you've got to make the decision. Do you want to carry on being friends with benefits, or do you just want to be friends? Because if you continue, you'll lose a friend in the long run, because you're going to start being bitter, you're going to start having resentment, and you're going to start asking questions where he's going to be feeling uncomfortable. You're going to sort of be having a relationship with a man that is single, okay? So I think, once again, go back to why is your ex? Why is your ex? Why did you split up? And focus more on that, and rather the fantasy where you are at the moment, fairy tale loveland, that isn't actually that. I mean, I remember years and years ago, I went to this guy's house and all my friends were like, what are you going to wear? What time you going? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I ended up going to this guy's house and we ate and had a lovely evening, and everyone's like, how did your date go? And I was like, oh my God, he made me this wonderful meal and I baked him up to this wonderful Adonis. He actually just threw a frozen pizza in oven and we had pizza and a few cans of Stella and that with that. So sometimes we get wrapped up in this fairy tale, okay? So strip away, find out, remember what it was that made you split up in the first place and focus a little bit more on that, okay? And if he is coming round just for friends and benefits, make sure that the children are in bed and they don't see him, because not only are you confused, can you imagine how those children are confused? Yeah? Okay. Dear Antonelli, I am 25 and I have fibromyalgia. I've had it for 5 years. I have met a wonderful man who I have been with for 3 years. We live together and he pays for everything. I can't work at the moment due to my condition, but now he is now throwing it in my face that I am not bringing any money in and that he has to do everything. I feel really bad, and at times he says he understands. What would you do? I don't want to finish him or anything like that. Please help. So this guy knew that you had a chronic condition when you moved in 3 years ago. This guy knows that you're not able to work, therefore you're not getting a regular wage. And all of a sudden it seems to be a little bit of a problem in the relationship. He probably feels a little bit like it's Groundhog Day. He probably thinks, oh, it's always me. Well, yeah, it is always you, because I can't do this. And I think this is really a time where you need to sit down and explain to him exactly why you can't do these things. When he says he understands, does he actually understand? Even though you can't work and you can't bring money in, what can you do? What can you do? And those little things that you can do might make, in his mind, a big thing that you're doing something. So what you need to do there is make sure that you haven't crossed the line between lover and carer, because once the lover becomes the carer, you can't get that back, unfortunately. You really can't. You've crossed that line and everything sort of goes. So maybe he's feeling a little bit more like he's your carer rather than your lover and your partner. So I think you need to strip things back to basics, have a little chat, find out what your roles are, maybe do a little bit more of what you can do, because sometimes we tell ourselves we can't do that, I can't do that, but really we can do a little bit, but not maybe the same as what we'd like to. So I think that's where you need to start. Have that little bit of a conversation, tell him that you appreciate everything you do for him and that how can you help him not feel like this. Okay. Dear Antonelli, it's the last one of Sunday service. Please could I be anonymous? Hi Antonelli, me and my boyfriend of 3 years have just broke up. The relationship hasn't been great for the last few months and my boyfriend has been really distant from me and I have to with him too. And okay. I never speak to him on the phone or we don't have nothing to talk about in person. He has left me, but I'm now crying my eyes out every day, which I don't know why, because I wasn't treated right anyway. Is there any advice on what you can give me? Well, it sounds to me like it's good that this relationship has ended because you didn't get on well, you weren't talking about anything and you weren't even seeing each other. So, there wasn't a relationship, okay. I think why you're so upset is because maybe you did invest a lot of time and effort into it, and sometimes we get a bit habitual about what we're actually doing. So we're used to having a boyfriend even though we're not actually playing the girlfriend role and he's not playing the boyfriend role. We're used to having a boyfriend, we're used to having that phone flash up now and again. And I think you're probably grieving for the fact that he never changed, he never was going to be the boyfriend that you envisage in your fairy tale land. So please, please, please cry your heart out. Absolutely, do what your body asks you to do. Don't inflict any self-harm on yourself, but cry your eyes out. Absolutely, your relationship's ended. And just treat this as a lesson on how not to do a relationship in the future. Sometimes things fall apart because better things are due to fall together. So when you do have a relationship in the future, you'll know how not to conduct it. And you'll also get red flags early on, so you'll think, oh, I've seen this before, I don't like that, rather than you waiting for it all to explode. Okay? So, That has been today's Sunday service. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Little Scylla and Hartley have been up and down parading behind me, as is my gorgeous boyfriend. And now we're going to spend the rest of the day together enjoying what little bit of sunshine we've got. Whatever you do with your day, afternoon or evening, love you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.